This is One Sentence News, a daily podcast featuring 3 news stories with a sentence-long summary and 1 sentence of context apiece. I'm Colin Wright. This is a sponsored message. I've been using Anchor as my podcast host for a while now, and it's been a pleasure to use. Anchor offers benefits that most other hosts do not. It's free to use, but it also has a collection of tools that allow you to create a podcast completely within the Anchor website or smartphone app. They distribute your show to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other distribution channels without any additional effort on your part, and you can make money from your podcast without any minimum audience size. So you can use it as a more traditional podcast host like I do, but it's also got everything you need to start a podcast from scratch. If you're keen to give it a shot, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's Tuesday, November 8th, 2022. Let's talk about the news. From the Washington Post, number of early votes cast surpasses early vote total in 2018 midterm election. Americans are casting their votes for the U.S. midterm elections today, though more than 42 million people already cast their vote early this year, surpassing 2018's record of 39.1 million. Voting trends have changed significantly since COVID arrived, with mail-ins becoming especially popular during the 2020 presidential election. As was the case with the 2020 election, some early polling numbers will be initially biased one way or the other, because early ballots are often counted before or after those cast in person the day of the election. And just a quick reminder, if you're in the US and if you are able to do so, and if you have not already early voted, do try to make it out today. From The Guardian, over 55,000 Ontario education workers strike in defiance of draconian law. Tens of thousands of education workers in Ontario have walked out and pledged to strike following the fast-tracking of a bill that fines striking workers 4,000 Canadian dollars, which is nearly 3,000 US dollars each day, alongside a $500,000 a day fine for the offending union. This piece of legislation, called Bill 28, also imposes a contract on the Canadian Union of Public Employees, which represents custodial staff, early childhood education, and education support workers, that would give workers who earn less than $43,000 a year a 2.5% annual wage hike, and a 1.5% hike for those earning more than that, which is substantially less than the 11.3% increase the union asked for in the midst of long stagnant wage growth and high levels of inflation. This move by the Ontario government is not going over well with the Canadian federal government or civil rights groups, who say that denying these workers the right to strike puts all their other rights at risk as well. And from the Indian Express, Delhi's air quality in very poor category today. Similar conditions expected in the week ahead. Primary schools across India's capital city closed last week to help protect children from dangerous smog that's cloaking the city of 20 million people. This smog is an annual thing, mostly but not exclusively the consequence of farmers in nearby towns burning crop remnants, combined with vehicle exhaust and factory emissions, all pushed down to ground level and kept there by regional weather conditions. Last Friday, PM 2.5 particulates, the most dangerous kind we track, were at almost 25 times the daily maximum recommended by the World Health Organization in New Delhi. And though air quality monitors indicated this particulate level had dropped by Monday, air quality remained in the very poor category and is expected to remain there for much of the rest of the week, as the government eases short-term bans on diesel and non-essential transport vehicles that were imposed to help clear the air. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com. And you can support this and other related projects, like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts, at understandery.com.